Hi guys, Darth Deuce here, back with another Star Wars action figure review. Taking a look at the new Star Wars The Vintage Collection, a Rogue One Darth Vader figure. So yeah, it's another Darth Vader figure. I like probably every single person who collects Star Wars figures. You know that there's a ton of Darth Vader figures they've made, especially in the 3 3/4 inch scale. There's tons of Vader figures. You always have new Vader figures being made because he's one of the big faces of Star Wars, obviously. One of the most recognizable, if not the most recognizable character, and a lot of people like him, so he's going to sell well. It's a guaranteed seller. We got a new one here based on his appearance in Rogue One / A New Hope, because they're kind of the same thing. The card back is specifically Rogue One, but we're going to take a look at this figure. I figured I might as well take a look at him. I don't review every vintage collection figure I get, but I figured I'll review this one because, Darth Vader is my favorite character, so I should probably review it. I'm going to do a lot of comparisons. I think one of the big things I want to do is do a bunch of comparisons, mainly with other 3 3/4 inch versions, to see if how it stacks up with other releases, and if this is the best release of Darth Vader in this scale so far. We'll talk about that because I definitely have some opinions on that. But first off, quick look just at the card back here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You got the Rogue One, Darth Vader, the yellow, where the figure's at. You got a pretty decent image of Vader. He's kind of there doing his little gesture and sparks and everything in the hallway scene. I think it would have been cool if the card back was like him in the dark with the lightsaber ignited at the very beginning of that scene, but it's okay. On the back here, we have other figures released. I have a decent amount of these. I have I got the Moff Gideon, which is really good. I have the Chirrut, which is really good, and the 5s, because I have the 3-pack, which is all really good. Still trying to get the Mandalorian. I haven't seen that in stock yet. I passed on Hondo for now. He was in stock, and now he's not. I might still get him, not sure. I want the Captain Rex because I don't have it's a repack, but I never got the original release. And the armor I'd like to get at some point as well, but I'll get them if I find them. Anyways, moving on to the figure here. I just got him in a kind of pre-posed him here. So you can just see kind of firsthand the posing you can get out of this guy. He's pretty well posable, as you can see. But I'll straighten him out here. Straighten him out here so we can get a better look at everything that's going on here. This figure isn't 100% new. There are a lot of new pieces, which makes it feel quite new, because it is quite new. But there are some reuse here, and that reuse is the legs and the arms are taken from the vintage collection, A New Hope Darth Vader, that was released in like 2012 or something like that. I do have that figure, so we'll compare it, but which is fine. That was a pretty decent figure back then. And then I believe the torso, this plastic robe bit, the helmet is all brand new though, so that's pretty cool. Speaking of the helmet, taking a closer look. My lighting might not be the best here, but the helmet sculpt's really good. It's pretty clear that they just tried to downscale the Black Series 6-inch one, which I think is a good idea, because I think that one's the best 6-inch scale helmet sculpt. And I think they did a pretty good job. Again, I'll talk about it later. I don't think it's still the #1 best helmet sculpt they've done, but I'd say it's definitely #2. It's definitely one of the best ones. They did the same thing there where they did the silver paint on like the higher cheek there and on the cheek on this side. I think that silver could have been a little more subtle, but it's still cool. It does the effect that it's supposed to do. And he has the brownish lenses, which I don't mind on this version of Vader, because in A New Hope and a little bit in a Rogue One, you could kind of see the light shining through the lenses and showing that reddish color, so I don't mind that. Torso, the paint apps are actually really clean on this figure. It looks really good. All the little buttons on his belt, the belt buckle, and the chest box looks really good. The armor looks great as well, fairly shiny, glossy. And actually, now that I think about it as well, the helmet is really nice and glossy black, which I really like a lot. I really like it when Vader's helmet's painted nice and glossy. And then you got the gloves here, which are in a glossy black, and then the actual like suit is a more matte black. So I like that difference. Helps make things a bit different in a figure that's mostly all black. And it's kind of the same. You get the groin piece there is a glossy black, and the boots and shin armor is a glossy black, but then you got the matte black legs, and all really nicely sculpted and painted. I have really no issues with how he looks in that regard. Now, one thing I do kind of don't like is they did do this plastic overlay where he does have these plastic robes, and the lower plastic robes are fairly pliable. They don't really hinder too much articulation. I just don't really like how they look, I guess. It depends on your... Depends, I think it's just personal preference, but I feel like it makes the torso look a little too boxy looking, I guess. I don't know, a little too square looking. They look a little awkward in action poses compared to soft goods, which I think never looked bad, or very, very rarely looked bad. Yeah, I'm not really feeling the plastic kind of big overall overlay. It's all one piece, the torso, soft or cloth plastic, and or plastic cloth rather, to the lower. It's all one piece. I'm not sure if I'm feeling it, but it's not bad. It's just not. I don't love it. Aside from that, I don't really have too many issues. It does have a soft goods cape. It is fairly big, and one thing I don't like, and it's kind of like a problem just at this scale, it billows out quite a bit, flares out. It doesn't really, just because it's so small and not very heavy cloth, it doesn't really drape over the figure too well. You can kind of mess with it a little bit and kind of try to get it, and it looks okay, but it's not the best, I guess. You can fold it behind him a bit, and you can mess with it and make it look decent, but it's just not great, I guess. But it's not awful. Articulation wise, he's got a ball joint at the head, which moves decently well. He's got ball hinges and shoulders that move really well, actually. I think there's really good movement there. And you got hinges at the elbows to move like pretty much full 90, which is also good. And he's got swivels at the glove. I think he has torso articulation. I think there's a ball joint there, but this plastic overlay really hinders that. You're not going to get a ton of movement out of that. So yeah. Ball hinges at the hips, though. No swivel cut at the thigh because this is an older mold. Hinges at the knees, and you get the standard hinges and rotation at the ankle. No ankle pivot because this is, again, parts from an older figure. And then accessory-wise, he just has his red lightsaber. It might be a new mold, I'm not sure. It's got a nice, vibrant red blade, and the paint's really well done on the hilt for all the black there. It looks really good, and he grips it well in either hand. You can get two-handed poses, one-handed poses, all that good stuff. So that's good. So yeah, it's a really solid Vader figure. But how does it stack up with other stuff? So the first one I want to do is actually with the 6-inch Black Series A New Hope Darth Vader, which I would say this figure's, well, they're both kind of trying to go for the same look, really. Straighten that up there. And just quickly kind of look at them, the similarities. If I can get them in close here, you can kind of see how the helmets look fairly similar. They got the same kind of color going on in the eyes. Yeah, you can definitely see that they're similar, which is good. I think they both look pretty good. I do like that the 33¼ inch one's more glossy than the Black Series 6-inch one. But yeah, you can definitely tell the influence the 6-inch one had on the 3¼ inch one, or at least in my opinion. And then on to some other stuff. We've got, I guess we'll do the big three first. We've got the old Vintage Collection A New Hope figure, which this figure shares a lot of parts with. This is the old one there. And yeah, this one was good for the time. Honestly, it was pretty good. You didn't usually have Vader figures with ball hinge hips, so that was cool. Yeah, I don't know. I do like the torso paint and mold better on the new one. This helmet was okay for the time. This one's just so much better now. 100% is way better now. This one looks more like it's from the Marvel comics or something, the old Marvel comics. But kind of what I'm saying here, I do really prefer the the soft goods lower robe. It doesn't look weird in more action-oriented poses, and it still looks fine. Just in neutral. They did a really good job on this one. This one is a really good size. It looks really good. So yeah, I don't know. They do both do different things, but I do think the new one is better than this version for sure. And then with another 3 1/4 inch Vader, this one's the first wave of 3 1/4 inch Black Series Empire Strikes Back Vader, which I think is mainly a reuse of the first Vintage Collection Vader from 2010. And this was a really good Vader. When this one came out, this was my favorite 3 1/4 inch Vader. And he uses the soft goods on the torso and the lower robe as well as the cape, which I think it just, I don't know, it just looks better. This is one way use of soft goods on a 3 1/4 inch figure that I think was done really well. It does some other stuff not so well, but he had that cool effect part and all that. And again, I think this was a new helmet sculpt at the time, which it's still pretty decent, but yeah, the new one definitely looks a lot better. It doesn't have that weird, this new one doesn't have that weird string thing. This one's still solid, but yeah, the new one's still better than that one for sure. But then the one that I do not think the new one beats is the Black Series 2013-2014 Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader. This one's still my favorite 3 3/4 inch Darth Vader figure. They just did an excellent job on this figure, and I just like this one better. I think maybe it comes down to personal preference on the helmet, but I really think this Black Series one still has one of the best Hasbro Darth Vader helmet sculpts they've ever done. It looks so good. He's got the blacked out lenses, just the shape of the helmet and the mask. I think they killed it there. It looks awesome. He's got the chain sculpted on the torso armor. The soft goods, again, he's got the soft goods lower robe and the cape actually drapes really well on the figure. The articulation on this guy is really good. He's got hinges in the wrist, ball jointed waist, ball hinges everywhere, his ball jointed neck, ball hinged ankles. He's even got rocker hinges, which at the time this guy came out, you almost never got that with Star Wars figures at all, let alone Darth Vader figures. So that was awesome. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it maybe comes down to personal preference and your personal look for Vader, but I think this Black Series 3 3/4 inch one is still the best 3 3/4 inch Darth Vader they've done. I don't think this new one beats it out. However, I still think if you don't have this one I don't think super easy to get now. So if you don't have this one's readily available, and I would definitely recommend picking that one up because I'd say this one's the best one outside of this one. This one's just right behind this one, I would say. I'm going to pull him back just for fun. I have a couple other just quick little comparisons we can do for Vader figures just for fun. Here he is with the Macquarie Vader, which is a cool figure, but it's got its own issues. And then one of my favorite, probably one of my favorite 3 1/4 inch figures, honestly, got the battle damaged Darth Vader from Force Unleashed, which is a completely different look for Vader, so it's not really a fair comparison or reasonable comparison, but yeah, there they look together. So that's cool. Take them out of there. Yeah, overall, I don't have really too much else to say about this guy. It's a really good Vader. I'd say it's one of the best. I don't think it's the best, but it's definitely one of the best 3 1/4 inch Darth Vader figures out there, and it's currently available right now. Should be pretty easy to get your hands on, so I would definitely recommend it if you're collecting the 3 1/4 inch Star Wars figures and you don't have a Darth Vader you're overly happy with. I would recommend picking this one up. Now, if you have any of the previous figures I just went over, like if you have those Vintage Collection ones or the Black Series ones, if you have the Black Series Revenge of the Sith one, I'd only get this one if you're big fan of Vader and you want the New Hope look. Otherwise, I'd skip. If you have any other releases, I'd honestly get this one because it's an upgrade over the others. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this your favorite 3 1/4 inch Darth Vader figure, or is there one you prefer over this one? That'd be interesting to know. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one.